Please welcome the teams of Australia and Uruguay. Veuillez accueillir les équipes d'Australie et de l'Uruguay.
Hello and welcome to the fourth and final day's play of the 2025 UEFA Friendship Cup. The action from Nyon kicks off with Australia against Uruguay here. The last outing for both nations at this tournament. These are the two teams that came fourth in their groups over the course of the 3 group game days of play. So this is the match to decide who comes 7th and who finishes 8th. Even in the Friendship Cup, someone has to finish last. Before the action, the national anthems.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Australia. Veuillez rester debout pour l'hymne national de l'Australie.
We've got Argentina against Senegal kicking off shortly. Those the nations that finished third in their groups. France against Japan, the two runners-up after that. And we'll finish later here in Nyon with the USA against Portugal, which is effectively the final. All 4 games, therefore, to decide who comes from first to 8th. 90 minutes with a penalty shootout if required. And here is the Australian lineup. James Overy had started all the games at right back. The Manchester United fullback sent off against the Americans and his place taken by Leo Fenari. Mehmeti and Brownlee, who scored in that comeback against the USA before they were beaten very late on also come in. Here is the Uruguay side. 4 changes from the starters against Japan, all in defensive positions. Figueroa, Marichal and Marquez coming in. And behind them, Victor Ortiz Ferreira is back in goal. The players coming together for the last time. This has been a feature of the 2025 Friendship Cup. All good experience in victory and defeat, not least for nations who don't always field under 18 sides at youth team level. Indeed, it's 3 years since Uruguay did that at all. And it's been a tough learning curve for them in particular. Well beaten 3 times over so far. 4-0, 4-0 and 4-1. They didn't manage to score their first goal until the end of the last of those 3 defeats. That was last time out here against Japan, when they were already 4 goals down. As for Australia, really competitive. Certainly in games 1 and 3. Late heartbreak twice over for them. The opening match of the tournament saw them hold Argentina to a 0-0 draw. They lost the penalty shootout. They were then well beaten by the French, but last time out against a seriously strong American side, they were 2 goals down and fought back to 2-2 before conceding in the 94th minute. So 1 point for them, coming from the opening draw against the Argentines. Remember, you got a 2nd point if you won the shootout, but it's 1 point more than Uruguay have got. And it's going to be Uruguay to kick us off then. Who's going to finish 7th? Who's going to finish 8th? Who's going to go home with the first win of any sort under their belt? Expect it to be feisty and physical. There have been plenty of goals in the matches of both of these nations. Mostly at the wrong end for the Uruguayans. But there's promise for them here early on. Dylan Leonard, that's cheaply given away. Now he's got defending to do. And his partner, captain there, Lucas Harrington, who's been excellent and started all the games at this tournament, comes across on the cover. First bit of handling for Janovic, who's back in goal. Jaya Janovic, the Central Coast Mariners. Started the first game. Sonny and Zalako came in for 2 and 3, sharing it out nicely. Leonard. There's Leo Fenari, who has had some game time. But James Overy had started all the matches before that red card against the Americans. Free kick here for the Aussies. Clipped in, Harrington's header. It's a good one. A smart stop from the returning Victor Ortiz Ferreira. I think that was probably heading inside the post. Fede Bais, the left back, getting forward there for Uruguay and winning his team the throw with those endeavours. That's very neatly played out by Australia. Neatly tidied up by Christopher Marquez, centre-back. Marichal on the cover. A bright start from Australia here. Richard Garcia's team hadn't scored until 2 in double quick time against the USA in a game that looked like it was going south for them. It did eventually. 94th minute when a brilliant counter-attacking goal sealed top spot in Group A for the USA, and that's why they'll be playing in the final game here today against Portugal. Xavier Smith, the left back, in 3 of the 4 games. He's caught the eye at this tournament for sure. Several members of this Uruguay squad have been promoted from under 17 duty. That is a level they play at. They're only in the South American under 17 championship a couple of months ago. Harrington. There's Fenari. Smith. Velasquez with the closing down. Bit of a risk taken that by Fenari. Base. It's a good tackle that by Lawrence Wong. He came in to start the last game, Lawrence Wong, and was off injured in the first half. Good to see that he's fit enough to take his place here. Just beaten by a fine tackle there from Bais. But back come Australia again. Jetson Lopez here with the cross. Brownlee picking it up. Wong, Anastasio and Eames in that defensive position. Hayne Eames, the sitting midfielder. There's a foul on Velasquez there. Belatedly given, and a free kick to Uruguay here. Or perhaps not. How's the cross here? Deflected. And Uruguay have their first corner of the game, indeed the first corner of the game. Velasquez on the chase to try and keep it in. And that is very calmly dealt with by Marquez. Bais back to Ferreira. Just starting to get a little stretch 10 minutes in. Dangerous ball in towards Velasquez. Attacked really well. And a referee may well have to bring the game to a halt here for the clash in the middle. That's a really inviting cross and fully committed from both players going in for that challenge. Looks like it's Velasquez who's still down here. There's Fenari and Ignacio Molina make friends in the penalty area. Velasquez is up of his own accord. Looks like all checks have been done. No assistance in leaving the field, so I'm sure he'll be coming back on any minute. Is Marichal across to Marquez. Wasn't a bad ball, actually. Kind of lost it in the sun. Late challenge coming in, though. And another one there. Referee Logan Berthier is not going for the pocket, I don't think. It's just a telling off for Martinez in there. Looked like with the challenge. Mauro Martinez keeping his place in this starting 11. Everyone back for Uruguay. And some more sorting out to do here. Captain Harrington now being spoken to, albeit briefly. A fair few stoppages so far, and the Australian free kick can now happen. Smith delivers. Oh, it's a great ball. And it's just wide. Right into the crowd. Super delivery. Ortiz Ferreira relieved. He watched that go just wide of his post. He wasn't going to get anywhere near it if it was inside it. Back with Ijanovic at the other end. Out towards Fenari. Velasquez closing him down. Good closing down from the skipper Martinez. And it's been a busy whistle so far, that's for sure. In swing or out swing. It's the latter from the left boot of Velasquez. Out by Anastasio. Mehmeti is the second centre forward dropping back, who came in to start last game, and his header started the comeback against the Americans. Along with Lawrence Wong, he plays for Melbourne City. Harrington to Fenari. Very neatly moved. Max Anastasio with a neat touch there. Well, it's come all the way back, but that was pretty sharp one-touch passing that from the Australians. Marichaal's just going to let that one run. towards Ignacio Molina. He's had nothing to go on yet. Tall Uruguayan centre forward. Now part of the defensive effort, tracking back, and fully committedly so with that challenge. Offside flag up against Ryan Brownlee. Queensland boy who has recently made a long move for his domestic football to South London from Brisbane Roar to Crystal Palace. It was he who finished off excellent Australian counter to make it 2-2 against the USA. They did look strong from the off, the Americans. No surprise that they got 8 points out of 9. A reminder that'll finish today's play and today's tournament here in Nyon. The final between them and the Portuguese as the Australians win a corner. Here they come in the crowded 6-yard box. Harrington got his head on it. They've tried quite a lot of manoeuvres during the course of their games, the Australians actually. Not always that far post one, although it does seem to be a favourite from the training ground. You see them in clusters, all at the far corner of that 6-yard box, sometimes all in the D and then making a late move. But absolutely, clearly something that they've been working on with Richard Garcia and his coaching team. Janovic with a sure-footed first touch. Not the most helpful pass out, though, with his second. Young Socceroos have won it back. And 20 minutes without too many sights of goal, really. I'd imagine Victor Ortiz Ferreira and the Uruguayan defence will be happy enough with that. They conceded 4 to Portugal, 4 to Senegal, and Japan too strong for them as well. Here's Martinez for Velasquez, and Harrington across with a firm but fair challenge. Base, and again Fede base. Mauro Marichal, and across the back four to find Christopher Marquez. Another one of those incoming today. Milano getting a couple of rare touches there. Dylan Leonard plays for Western United. One of those in the group who is still 17, Dylan Leonard, on the ball here, but he's very much been the first choice with Lucas Harrington back there in the centre of the Australian defence. And here is Harrington. Another one of the Brisbane Roar contingent. Accurate long ball. And for a moment, a shooting opportunity until Figueroa got the challenge in. No foul there. It's a sharp tackle. It's calmly done by Christopher Marquez. Uruguay have a good record at under 20 level historically, although they won't be defending their world crown in that regard this time around. Under 18, not something they... Or in fact, to be fair, many nations play a lot of under 18 youth football. It tends to be 17 and 19 at club level. Australia's not going for much of a squeeze there. Jetson Lopez, Brandon Brownlee just hanging back. So Ortiz Ferreira here has all the time in the world. They're daring him. Not trying to rush him. And with 24 minutes played, we're going to have a cooling break on a warm morning in Switzerland. A game that has seen very few chances so far. If there was a favourite pre-kick-off for this one, I think it would just about have been Australia. More cohesive unit, a little more attacking intent. And while Uruguay have been well beaten 3 times out of 3, only once did Australia succumb to that kind of scoreline. 3-0 they lost their second outing against France. France will be playing Japan later on. Both of these two lost to both of those two by a 3-goal margin in the end. Just noticeable a little tactical shift of the wingers here. You see that quite a lot at all levels, but Lucchini has just come over to this left side now. Ramiro Lucchini for Uruguay. Again, no visible press. Now it comes belatedly from Brownlee, but it didn't really change the keeper's choice. Harrington got nosed in mid-air by Ignacio Molina. daintily done by Dylan Leonard. Christopher Marquez has looked pretty solid so far. Well, it was a nice touch, but to no avail. Now Lucchini, first go on this left flank from him, and a clever pass. Well watched all the way by Leonard. No foul given there. Baez keeps it moving. Here's the skipper, Martinez. Well, it's been half an hour, rather fractured by niggling fouls. And Logan Berchier's whistle. Harrington, nicely worked. Anastasio. Fenari in space keeps calling for it. He's not going to get it this time. I presume that was trying to be threaded through for Medin Mehmeti. Nice idea. Velasquez has got it. Trying his luck on the right wing now. Marichal. That was always going to be Harrington's. Mehmeti coming back and winning it well. So to Cardoso. Well, it's well contested so far, and so well contested, those 50-50s, that no one's really had any significant time on the ball anywhere near the attacking third. That's why the chances have been slim to none, really. Lucchini for Uruguay. That's well won back. Lopez. Delicately curled in, lovely idea. And only just half an ounce too much power on a delicate, difficult, delicious ball. Ryland Brownlee, it was on the stretch, trying to get on the end of it. Now they've picked up the second ball high here, Uruguay. Well worked, but eventually the hard work forces them back again. Figueroa, Milano not able to go anywhere there for Uruguay. Martinez offering himself as ever in the middle of the park. And again he comes and collects. Xavier Smith, left back, who's been good in this tournament. Plays in England for Crew Alexandra. Oh, Janovic came. Didn't really have much of a chat with Dylan Leonard. Thumped forward by Marquez, thumped out again. Well, plenty of industry. Everyone's going for everything in terms of the tackles and the running, and it hasn't brought chances yet. Maybe now, maybe not. Oh, the pressure's worked here. Uruguay want a foul, they're not going to get it. Brownlee squares it! And for the first time in this tournament, Australia lead. I'm afraid defensive issues persist for Uruguay. Jetson Lopez in the right place to profit. And the young fans pitch side in neon seem pleased with that one. One or two inquests from Uruguay, hands on hips again. That, I'm afraid, has been their downfall. They've let in some sloppy goals throughout. It is the 13th goal they have conceded, with still an hour to play in their fourth and final match. Jetson Lopez, just to confirm there. It's good work from Brownlee, who could have gone himself and might have done. He tucked it away nicely, Lopez. And it's a new sensation for the Aussies. They're ahead. Well, that's a big slice. And it falls the way of Velasquez. Now that took a touch, didn't it? So Uruguay have a corner, maybe a chance for a quick riposte. Velasquez, having earned it, takes it, and well, he's picked out Marichal there, who was unmarked in the middle. Australia getting away with one there because they've let the big centre-back completely free on the edge of the 6-yard box. Their saving grace is that it was just a little above him, so even though he did all he could to get up there, he wasn't able to head it down. Velasquez. Cheap turnover again in midfield. The space is all out here. Leo Fenari filling that space, getting the chance to do so because of something you probably weren't expecting to see at the 25 Friendship Cup. A red card. Manchester United right back James Overy has been the regular starter at right back, but fairly late on in that game against the USA. Went in very firmly to a challenge and was dismissed for it. That's why Fenari's got the start here. And here he is. And the goal scorer, Jetson Lopez, wins Australia a throw. Ball into Lawrence Wong and back again for Leonard. And out to Smith. It was looking good until it came to an end with that loose pass. Confident take from Lopez, buoyed by the goal. Lawrence Wong just feeling a little something there. Maybe his boot half come off, but he's up and going again. Smith. Despite the multiple efforts of Uruguay to steal that back, Australia clinging on impressively and looking for a second here, and they might get it. Not much of a tackle that from Marquez, and out comes Ortiz Ferreira with an important intervention for Uruguay. Who surely can't afford to concede again just before half-time. Lopez with the out-to-win run. Moved on by Wong. That's worth an effort, and it's a lovely curling effort and a save to match from Victor Ortiz Ferreira. That was excellent. That was certainly heading on target, wasn't it? Let's see what they've got planned for this corner routine. See, they're all deep now. Now they make the move. And somewhere in there was a push. Uruguay free kick, and just a sense that there might have been a bang on the head in there as well. So referee Logan Berchier just making sure that's dealt with. I think that's Figueroa just being checked out as the Uruguay subs warm up. Remember, you can make up to 9 of those. None made by the coach yet. Senior level, the Uruguayans, we all know, a tough nut to crack. Been to 5 of the last 6 World Cups now. Obviously where it all started. Regular contenders. They're on course for another South American qualification, by the way. Mentioned the under-20 Uruguay side. 8-time South American champions and under-20 World Cup winners last time, but they haven't qualified to defend that trophy. So, disappointing time for the youth setup. Velasquez winning that strongly. Final few minutes of the first half and a rare attack for the Uruguayans here. Or is it? Look how hard they've worked to just hold up Lucchini there. And the cross has been forced, and it is over-forced. Harrington. There won't be many players across the course of this tournament to start every single game, but Lucas Harrington is going to be one of them. Wong, if he'd kept hold of that, he was in. Marichal looks to the heavens as he gives it back, and Lawrence Wong has it again for Australia. Looking to make it 2 by half-time. Brownlee is going to need some help over there. Or is he? Good ball into Wong. I'm afraid his touch has just led him down twice in 30 seconds there, Lawrence Wong. Whose birthday it is today. The boy has become a man. Oh, what a lovely bit of skill. Important header from Marquez, but the danger remains here. Fenari beaten to it. Well, the fans thought that was a foul, but in fairness, nobody on the pitch was. There's a yellow card for Leo Fenari for needlessly delaying the restart. That is silly. Rules apply even at the Friendship Cup. This is the second such tournament, by the way. They had one last year in Turkey. No qualification for it, invitational. 8 completely different nations this year, in comparison to last. Last year's final ended up with Mali beating Slovakia. Good cover from Smith. Couldn't keep it from going out, though. And Uruguay are going to finish this half with the corner. Confirmation of that first caution of the game there. Australia without a suspended right back. And now his replacement is going to have to tread a little more carefully. Towards Figueroa and out again. Little lacklustre that delivery, a little casual. Oh, beautifully done to work the space there. 30 seconds of normal time to go and 2 to be added, we're hearing, as Mehmeti goes on the charge. And then fouled by East in trying to win it back. Lakini with the layoff, nicely done. And a rare amount of time to turn there for Molina. They've got to make something of it here. Velasquez, we're into those 2 minutes now. Martinez, and again. Out to Ramiro Lakini. Martinez let it bounce, and he's lost it. Cardoso up the line to Lakini, but look at the traffic around him. Just a minute or so to see out. Even more effort from the Australians to make sure they go in with that 1-goal advantage. I think it's probably about fair. It's not been a thriller of a game, full of chances, but the greater attacking intent has certainly come from Australia, albeit they had a bit of help with the goal. Up towards Molina. But he's been well marshalled and surrounded by green and gold. And it is the green and gold who have hold of 7th place as the half-time whistle goes. Jetson Lopez with the only goal of a well contested but pretty cagey first half. Australia making more of the running. And as it stands, they are going to get their first win. Half-time in nil. Australia 1, Uruguay 0.
To remind you that the no smoking policy is in operation at UEFA 2025. Any person using tobacco or e-cigarette products inside the stadium ball will be asked to stop immediately. Thank you for respecting the no smoking policy and enjoy the game. Nous voulons vous rappeler qu'une interdiction de fumer est appliquée lors de l'UEFA 7th-8th 2025. Toute personne surprise en train de fumer du tabac ou une cigarette électronique dans l'enceinte du stade sera prié de cesser immédiatement. Nous vous remercions de bien vouloir respecter l'interdiction de fumer. Bon match. If the score is 0 at the end of a normal play time, the winner will be determined by penalty shootout. No extra time will be required. Si les deux équipes sont à égalité à la fin du temps réglementaire, le vainqueur sera déterminé par une séance de tennis. Il n'y aura donc pas de prolongation. forbidden to enter the pitch at any time. Nous vous rappelons qu'il est strictement interdit de pénétrer sur le terrain de jeu à quelque moment que ce soit. Merci beaucoup de respecter cela.
So here we go with the final 45 minutes for Australia and Uruguay at the second Friendship Cup. And Australia with the precious 1-goal lead to protect in this second half. Not too many signs that Uruguay were going to pull level in that first half. What have they got in the second? Double change for the Australians, by the way, with Quinn McNichol and Harry Crawford, who've both been heavily involved prior to this game. Coming on, Fenari, the right back who got booked, going off, and also Max Anastasio, the Venezia midfielder. And that may mean, we shall see, it may mean a slightly different role for Ryland Brownlee in this second half. Australia get us going again, taking 7th place out of 8 as it stands. Let's see if Uruguay can score their second goal of this competition and even up the contest. No changes from them at the break.
Remplacement pour l'Australie, le numéro 14 est remplacé par le numéro 20 et le numéro 11 est remplacé par le numéro 21.
Clever reverse pass, but well spotted and read and picked off by Lucas Harrington. Looks like Quinn McNichol, the Brisbane Roar, has come on to play left wing here. Seen him and Harry Crawford both play on both flanks during the course of this competition. Crawford of Adelaide. Both of them still 17. Marichal. Sloppy flick that from Figueroa. Had a lot more time, Emiliano Figueroa, but no one gave him the call. Looks like a slightly more defensive role for Crawford, with but Overy suspended and now Fenari off. Crawford, who has been playing in wide attacking positions in this competition. Looks like he's filling in at right back here. Ortiz Ferreira clears. It wasn't a busy half for either goalkeeper, in truth. That was just out of play, so Uruguay forced the first corner of this second half, and in front of their watching substitutes. Here it comes, Velasquez. And he'll stay there and do it again. Deeper delivery this time, and he found the head of Marichal. That's twice the big centre-back has been up on the end of crosses. And that one right up the middle at Janovic. Anywhere else, that would have been every chance of an equalising goal for Uruguay. Meanwhile, at the other end, an overhit cross Looked like Brownlee delivering that. Goal scorer Jetson Lopez of Braga now has a yellow card to his name for that earlier challenge on the far touchline. Harrington stepping up before Velasquez could think about what to do with that. Marichal. And now Christopher Marquez. Lucchini, you could see what he was trying there. It didn't quite work. Square ball for Figueroa. All 8 nations in action on each day of this competition. The match for 5th and 6th is also ongoing at the moment between Argentina and Senegal. Australia trying to cement 7th place here with a second goal. Nothing doing from that cross. France, Japan later. They both looked impressive, but not impressive enough to win their groups. A little short with the back pass, but Ajanovic gets there. Figueroa with the challenge, and Dylan Leonard will bring it out for Australia under pressure, but he gets the ball off to Xavier Smith. Leonard. Nice. Worth a hit, perhaps. And not for the first time today. Alexander Velasquez is fouled. I think if anyone in that Uruguayan attacking quartet has looked likely to make something happen, well, at least the most of that would be him, Alexander Velasquez. Is Figueroa. Space now. Lucchini making the run. Decent effort that from Milano. Just threatening a little more Uruguay in this second half. Fairly pressure-free occasion. Might as well have a go. It's a nice run and well found, that of Xavier Smith, who's still up on this left side, and here he is. Eames squares it. McNichol gets it back. Quinn McNichol. Oh, lovely dummy. He'll be disappointed with the shot, but that was nice. Really nice from the substitute. Played that through the lines well. Velasquez was the target. It's a sweet ball. And safety first from the Aussies, and Uruguay have got another corner. Those subs still warming up, encouraging their colleagues. Definitely a brighter restart from the South American nation here. Now Marichal, keep an eye for him. He's making his move here at the corner of the 6-yard box. It's just over him. Whipped across. Can anyone pull the trigger? Deflection and a good stop from Ijanovic. First little spell of pressure from Uruguay in this game. The corner again, right into the right area, but well defended. There must have been a barge in there. It's an Australian defender down, and they'll have a free kick. And a release of the first little spell of pressure they've been under back there. That's well won. Lucchini with the layoff. And Figueroa brought down, and the yellow card is out, and I'm not surprised. It was a promising position and a late challenge. Looked like Quinn McNichol with the challenge there. Marquez lost it. Eames, just confirmation of the yellow card there for the sub, Quinn McNichol. Smith coming forward, wins the corner. Slight delay in taking that. Is treatment going to be required here or not? Yes, it is. Uruguay preparing a double change here. Looks like one of them may be enforced. I wonder if they will do it now, because otherwise they're defending a man light when we restart with this Australian corner. Well, there's the signal from referee Logan Berchier. Well, maybe not. Oh, yes, it is. Bruno Arradi on for Ramiro Lucchini. Figueroa is off as well, with Macchia on as the keeper Ortiz Ferreira comes flying out for that one. Confirmation there that the stricken figure are replaced by Vincenzo Macchia. Smith, Leonard, immediately pressurised. Congestion in that central third as Australia play their way around it before good hard work wins it back for Uruguay. Just calmed down again after that good spell, and now they're on the back foot. That's a good hit. Who's on the rebound? 2-0. The fastest to react is so often the forward over the defender, and it's happened again here. For the second game running, Medin Mehmeti has found the net. The Melbourne City boy, giving the Australians a cushion here, just at the end of Uruguay's best spell of the game. Something natural in a forward instinct over a defender to follow up shots. It's incredible at any level of football how often it happens. It's not a coincidence. They're just better at it. They're more likely to run in on the keeper like that. And when Ortiz Ferreira beat out the initial effort, it was the centre forward Mehmeti who was first on the scene. Now let's see if Uruguay can at least hold themselves together, because in previous games, when 1-0 down has become 2-0 down, they have rather suffered. Well kept in by Velasquez. Cardoso in field to Martinez. And the newly arrived Macchia there, just slicing one wide. That would have been some goal. It looks like the Aussies are going to have something to show for their considerable efforts out here in Switzerland this week. They got a point from their opening game. Lost the penalty shootout. It looked like they were going to get a point and go to another penalty shootout here on Saturday. Well, they might be in for number 3. That's excellent goalkeeping from Ortiz Ferreira. As Mehmeti beats the ground, he thinks he should have had another one. That was a decent chance. Nicely done. So was that. Here's Quinn McNichol. 3 to aim at in the middle. And the header from Marichal will bring another Australian corner. Look how firmly contested these tackles still are. And suddenly it breaks here for Velasquez. Unselfish from him. No one pulled the trigger when they had the chance. Down goes Wong. And Australia may be able to counter here. McNichol. Well, they smothered him illegally, as it turns out, to stop the counter. I wonder if Alexander Velasquez could have pulled the trigger himself there. Well, he could have, but I wonder if it crossed his mind. Went for the square pass. That was where the traffic was, in green and gold. The throw from Smith. Is Wong. Eames keeps it moving for the Australians. That's nicely worked. Maybe just a little on the short side for... That's Crawford attacking over there. Nodded on by Makia. He's made plenty of forward runs since coming on. That pass was meant for him and well read by Harrington. Oh, look at the pace here. There's an empty net. Oh, it's off the post. What an effort. So close for Brownlee. So nearly had a goal to go with his assist. Electric acceleration to get in there. And he's still in there now. That's altogether more comfortable for Ortiz Ferreira. Ale Velasquez does well. Back from Cardoso. Oh, Marquez has given that away. And Mehmeti, not for the first time, frustrated with himself. Can understand why he went for the lob, fair enough. Why not? Velasquez with the big switch. It's good from Aradi. And this is really promising for Uruguay. 5v4 there, scuff shot. Not for the first time. Harrington making sure that Ajanovic is having a pretty quiet day at the office. Deep cross, free header. Second time around, no! And on the rebound, that's blocked too. Just won't go in for Brownlee and Mehmeti at the moment. And Uruguay back there are clinging on to their place in this as a contest with a quarter of the game to go. Twice over, very, very nearly. Australia 3, Uruguay 0. Wong, nice take, lovely finish. Well, let's be honest, it's been coming, and now it has come.
Goal scored for Australia by
Multiple changes to come.
Australia
Jetson Lopez has his second of the game. Australia have their third. And it's that sinking feeling again for Uruguay as the players go for a drinks break. Those who want to, anyway. Cardoso doesn't look that interested, but he's going to go and have to hear from the coach. Lovely finish from Jetson Lopez. He's walked on to 2 now and punished on both occasions. Let's see if he gets a chance to score a hat-trick here, or whether he's part of the changes that are inbound. At youth team level, defeats are every bit as important as victories, even if they're not as enjoyable. All part of the development, and these Uruguayans look like they're going to be on the end of a 4th out of 4. Pretty convincing. Now, are we going to see those changes now, or are we going to get going again? So 20 minutes to go, and I think we can safely say Australia are going to finish 7th at this year's Friendship Cup.
3 substitutions for Australia. Number 11 is being replaced by number 10, number 3 is being replaced by number 16, and number 8 is being replaced by number 7. 2 substitutions for Uruguay. Number 19.
Treble change for the Aussies. More on that shortly. Rodrigo Clemate is on for captain Mauro Martinez in the Uruguay midfield. Meanwhile, Genova, De Lima and Nkomo on for Australia here. Bit of a reshuffle, which they're going to have to sort out fairly quickly. Richard Nkomo here on wearing 16 for the Australians at left back for Xavier Smith. Facundo Dominguez is off the Uruguayan bench, and he did that to good effect. He's the scorer of their only goal in this competition. Came off the bench against the Japanese and scored. Meanwhile, there's the pullback. Australia very nearly in for number 4. Jetson Lopez will not be getting his hat-trick because he has made way. Pull back there and a free kick in a good position here. Confirmation that Benjamin Garcia is on, and Facundo Dominguez replacing Nacho Molina up top. Only one contender here, in a nice position, and surely on the rebound. Oh, what a double stop! Well, the first one from Ijanovic presented the follow-up opportunity. The second was brilliant. I think it may not have counted for an offside flag, but nobody knew that at the time. There's nothing else they'd like to score again before they head back to South America. Velasquez will take their corner as we hit the final 15 minutes here. Presumably there will be stoppage time, although it feels rather a moot point. And Velasquez has put it straight into the gloves of Ijanovic. Aussie coach Richard Garcia in close attendance there, and it looks like he's going to be making another couple of moves shortly. One of the unusual features of this Friendship Cup is that everyone in the squad has to have at least an hour playing time, and everyone will comfortably have done that. It's a good inclusive policy. Now Uruguay have got 4-on-2 here, and the shot was absolutely not the right option to take. Bruno Aradi, the second half substitute there, had options left and right. No room for the shot here, and Como arriving. That's delicate from him. No one on the far post, he'd slightly overhit it anyway. The two remaining outfield substitutes are going to be made here by Richard Garcia, with Tyler Williams and Marcus Neal coming on. Tyler Williams started ahead of Hayne Eames in that defensive midfield role in the last game. So Medine Mehmeti departs, having scored in back-to-back games here. Let's see if Marcus Neal of Sunderland, in their youth setup, club who's just been promoted to the top flight of the English league system. He's part of their youth programme. Well, he's on. Let's see if he can get his first goal. Having started 2 out of the 4, he's played in all 4. He's got 15 minutes or so here. Just too much on that cross. Another follow-up here, and another Australian goal. And I'm afraid it's 100% for Uruguay. They've now conceded 4 times in all 4 games here, and the Aussies are enjoying themselves at the Uruguayans' expense. Quinn McNichol, the Brisbane Roar, makes it Australia 4, Uruguay 0.
Uruguay 0.
Well, there's been plenty of experience going on during the course of this 10 days or so for all the nations involved in terms of what they've been doing in between games and in between training sessions, but I'd imagine the Uruguayans will be fairly happy to get home, despite whatever it maybe that they've enjoyed off the field. On the field, it's been a bit of a humbling experience, but an all-important learning one suspects too. Alexander Velasquez, meanwhile, replaced here by Rodrigo Dudok. That will almost certainly be a straight swap wide in the attack. That's where he tends to play too. Confirmation of that change there. Very different looking sides from that which we started, and look at that crowd of players on the edge of the box and D here for this Australian free kick. It's a little on the short side. Bit of a scrap in there, but managed to get it away, Uruguay. And they're off and running here on the counter. 3v4. Macchia trying to get that ball in. That's a really good tackle from Harry Crawford, who's across on the cover. Talking to for Dudok as soon as he comes on the field here. Pablo Cardoso, one of those who has stayed on. The right back with the throw into Dudok. Back to Marquez and all the way home to Ferreira. Oh, lovely bit of skill there. Como, Western Sydney Wanderers, set up the goal to make it 2-2 against the Americans. And Como having just come on then. On for Xavier Smith again here. What a lovely pass that is. And Como making his run again. It's a good tackle. Dudok getting in, and he needed to. And Macchia just beaten to the punch by Alessia Genova. And Como bursting up from left back again. And a carbon copy of the cross he produced the last time that happened. No messing about from Christopher Marquez with that clearance. Janovic here will want that clean sheet. Still hasn't conceded in this competition because he wasn't in goal for games 2 and 3 when they did concede. Originally in the under-20 squad, who are out in South America, funnily enough, right now. Trevor Morgan's group, Janovic. He and Sonny Inzalako called up from that. And the two goalkeepers have shared duties here. And Janovic will say, well, I don't know what was the problem with you, but I've got 2 clean sheets out of 2. Well, he's nearly got the second anyway. Cardoso with the throw for Uruguay. who did score one late in their last game, but they were already 4-0 down in that one. Cheap foul, blatant free kick into the final 5 minutes. Tough take for Nkomo. Oh, didn't he make light of that? What a beautiful touch from Richard Nkomo. Fantastic skills. Two or three times over, and that was Dudok, it was, who didn't like it. He got done twice over there, and they're still going at it, those two. The referee wants a word with Dudok here. Keep an eye on those two, Dudok and Nkomo. Bottom of your screen. And Uruguay just starting to show their frustrations here. There's a yellow card has been pulled out there for somebody with another late challenge. And one wonders whether stoppage time is that good an idea here. This is the Friendship Cup. It's 4-0. There's no conversation to have about who's winning the contest. And that yellow card was out for Mauro Marichal. We don't want this to descend into anything naughty. Would seem rather pointless. Played forward by Brownlee, and then the cross is a good one. And so is the defending. Here's McNichol. And still, good stop. And he's down again for the follow-up as well there. Ortiz Ferreira. His confirmation it was Mauro Marichal who got the yellow card for that challenge there. Quinn McNichol nearly had another. Good turn. Nkomo in space. They're enjoying themselves here, the Aussies, and Uruguay aren't liking it. That's another really good ball. Nkomo this time. Flag goes up. Dudok with a little touch, and it's a good touch for Dominguez. How about that? Cracking hit. And there will be no clean sheet for Ajanovic, and Uruguay have done what they did in the last game.
For Uruguay by player number 9. Australia 4, Uruguay 1.
Dominguez with the shot. Probably go as an own goal. Took a big piece of it on the way through, but just like their last game at 4-0 down late on. Dominguez involved as well. Uruguay get if you can call it a consolation goal. Well, they've got one. Here's Brownlee. Looks like it's going to go as an own goal against the skipper Lucas Harrington, who has otherwise been immaculate in Switzerland over these last 10 days. Leonard's header, and we're into the first of 2 added minutes. McNichol pulls it back. There's time for 5. Well in. They haven't sat back at all, Australia. They've been looking for more at every point. Nice from Harrington. Here's Dylan Leonard and Como. Marichal just got there. Well, he's gone to ground there. But, corner is the decision after a brief consultation between the officials. Bit of fight ball on the edge of that Uruguay box, but they've managed to shuffle it clear. We might have time to grab a second before the full-time whistle here. Yellow card out for that challenge, and the final act of this 7th place match will be a Uruguay free kick. Well, why not all go up? Not going to be any time for anything else after it anyway. Good looking ball. And it is indeed the last action for both of these nations at the 2025 Friendship Cup. Uruguay beaten and heavily beaten 4 times over. A first win for the Australians, and deservedly so. Couple of goals for Jetson Lopez, another one for Mehmeti, and Quinn McNichol with the 4th before the late own goal lost the Australians their clean sheet, but not their first victory. So they take 7th and Uruguay 8th. Full time in Nyon in the first game of the day. Australia 4, Uruguay 1.
Final score is Australia 4, Uruguay 1. Thank you to both teams. Félicitations à l'Australie, le score final est Australie 4, Uruguay 1. Merci aux deux équipes. Ladies and gentlemen, these athletes reminded us of what soccer really stands for: fair play, respect, and a unique ability to bring people together and across borders. We now invite you to give a very warm round of applause to the two teams who will receive their medals, a symbol of their remarkable achievements and exemplary sportsmanship. Mesdames et messieurs, ces athlètes nous ont rappelé ce que le football représente vraiment: le fair play, le respect et une capacité unique à rassembler les gens au-delà des frontières. Nous vous invitons donc maintenant à applaudir très chaleureusement les deux équipes qui recevront leur médaille, symbole de leur remarquable réussite et de leur esprit sportif